Hello, this is Shan Chandrasekhar welcoming you to another delightful part of our programming. As part of the Achievers series, we featured some of the finest achievers from around the world. We are very honored and delighted to present an outstanding individual. You know, he's an extraordinary divine personality with extraordinary accolades in the field of education, healthcare, nutrition, and social work. He's got a BSc honors degree in chemistry, he's got a master's degree in chemistry with a gold medal, and he's got an MBA with a gold medal, and on top of that he's got an honorary doctorate. We are delighted and absolutely privileged to welcome Sadguru Madhusudan Sai.
Thank you so much for having me here. It's a proud moment for me too, to be a part of this television network that you have created with such great love and care.
Sadguru, Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba's life was beyond comprehension, but he also propagated love all and serve all. In today's world, the way things are in Ukraine, you've traveled all over the world, you've got centers, you've got followers in 80 countries right now. And with the tariff situation in the United States, problem in the Middle East, is that concept still valid? Can you explain that?
I think this is the most timeless wisdom and the words that have ever been spoken. That the only way to global harmony and peace is to love everyone and to serve everyone. Just loving them as a thought is not going to be sufficient. It should translate into meaningful actions that help each other. Now, today's situations in the world, as you look around, there are wars, conflicts, and now trade wars are starting, and we do not know what else is coming next. The reason for all this is some kind of human selfishness. And the solution is selflessness. So when people are selfish, they can't think beyond themselves, they only worry about themselves. Whether it's an individual or a family or a country for that matter, they only think about their welfare, their well-being, their future. They don't worry about others. And that is why there are conflicts, because it's a survival instinct that kicks in then. And then you do not allow greater things to prosper. And this fear of losing out makes you sometimes even aggressive. And that's what is happening around the world, whether you're subscribed to a wrong ideology of religion, or to a wrong ideology of politics, or to the wrong ideology of supremacy, dominance, whichever way you put it. It is that selfishness which is at the root of all the conflicts. So Baba says it's just reverse this thing. Selfishness is the problem, selflessness is the solution. Hatred is the problem, love is the solution. So love all, serve all is forever, and as long as we practice this in the true spirit of it, where with love all means love all, not just all except these few or except those few, but really we are able to accept everybody as our very own, then definitely it's going to make a big difference to the world. And this is going to stay. This is the only idea that is going to redeem the world.
Tell me about the concept that you developed of the Sathya Sai Grama, which is the global village concept. You were very keen on propagating that.
True. We are located or headquartered at a small village called Muddenahalli. That also happens to be the birthplace of Bharat Ratna Sir M. Vishweshwaraya. Yeah, so he was born just across the road. And this ashram was established almost 60 years ago or 55 years ago by a devotee of Baba. His name was Madhyal Narayan Bhatt. He was a Karnataka, and he came into Baba's fold, and he was very inspired by Baba's message. And he had established 2 schools, and this was one of the schools. So it was a small, sleepy village where just 2 schools were running. But then come 2011, with Baba's guidance and instruction, I came here. He guided me to this place. I met the people, we spoke, and that is how this mission began from this place. It has prospered now to a 200-acre campus.
Wow.
And it has got a university, medical school, super specialty hospitals. It's got a lot of residential facilities, quarters. So an international stadium where the recently cricket match was held between India and Sri Lanka. So it has prospered since then. This is the main campus. And we believe that villages have to be empowered. They have to be developed. Why people should leave villages and go to the cities? Let us bring the infrastructure to the village so that people can stay back and look after their families and not move away from their cultural traditions. So I think Sathya Sai Grama stands as a great model of how a village can be improvised and made into a place that everybody wants to go to, because it has got good health care, good education, good opportunities. So the rural youths don't have to leave their farms and fields and their homes for the sake of greener pastures to the cities.
Sadhguru, you've been known as an extraordinary avid reader, a writer, and you've published some very popular books to bring some important subjects of awakening to the common man.
True.
So tell me about this, your writing skills and these books and articles that you have published.
I was not a born writer or anything like that, truly. And not that I had great interest in reading books. I used to read occasionally as a hobby, not a very serious reader. But I think my work that I am doing right now, there is so much of wisdom in it which can help so many people.
Right.
I may not be able to go and meet and talk to them personally. So books carry all that wisdom, and they also kind of store them for posterity. So we started simply as a simple hobby, writing some simple articles that turned into books, starting with my own autobiography, which is called The Story Divine. And then a lot of other books on spirituality, like I have a small, very interesting book, Spirituality 101, like our Marketing 101 and things like that, which is for the uninitiated, people who are looking for some answers. So there are 101 questions that can be that you can find answers to, including Advaita and things like that, whether God exists, and if He does exist, then how does He exist, what does He do, why does He do what He does. So these are the questions we all ask. Similarly, there are other small books on management, and I have a very interesting book called God Management. And that's again from the style of management that Baba taught me. If God was the CEO of an organization, what would He do? How would he run the organization? So those very succinct principles are there, and likewise Master the Mind that I mentioned, the series book. So also my talks on Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, they're all being published. It's a plethora of things. I don't even remember how many of them, but that's all there on the website.
Just for the benefit of viewers, Master the Mind, Sadhguru was just mentioning about that. Here is a glimpse of that.
Adi Shankara would begin any of his recitation or any of his writing worshipping his Guru, Govinda Bhagavad Pada. Sarva Vedanta Sara Gocharam, Tam Agocharam, he would say, Govindam Paramanandam. You are the seer, you are the knower of all the Vedanta Sara, all the essence of all the Vedas. You see them all, Drishta, you see them all like a gooseberry on your palm. You see them all. Yet you remain unseen. Tvam agocharam. You remain unseen. O Govinda. Govinda Bhagavad Pada is the Guru's name. Paramanandam. You are the source of ultimate joy. You are always in ultimate joy. I, Pranatosmiham, I salute you. Sri Vivekananda would begin his prayers, his recitations, his talks, praying to his Guru, Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. What is Sri Ramakrishna's prayer? You sing in front of Bhajagovindam, you chant. Sthapakaya cha dharmasya sarva dharma swarupine avatara varishtaya. This is how he described his Guru. Sthapakaya cha dharmasya. You establish dharma. And sarva dharma swarupine. You are the embodiment of all the dharma. Avatara varishtaya. You are the greatest of the avatars. So Ramakrishna te namaha. I worship you, O Ramakrishna, I salute you. How should I describe the Guru, who is God? In other two cases, Gurus were born man and became gods. In our case, Guru was born God, became man. It's the other way around. So how do we worship him? Is there a description to him? Are there words in the dictionary of all humanity that can describe the glory of a Guru like this, who is actually God but becomes man for the sake of his disciples?
Stay tuned now for these messages.
An interview was another book of yours that was very successful from what I understand.
True.
So tell me a bit about that book.
Yeah, interview are just snippets of my interactions with Baba or any other soul inspirations that I've come across. And I've just written them out as small, just a paragraph about it, but it carries a very good message along with it. For instance, I'll give you one interview is, we were all celebrating a day called Seva Day. All devotees, followers do that once in a month or once in a week or whichever. So there was in a country we were celebrating Seva Day, and the word Seva goes S-E-V-A, right? So Seva Day. But Baba played on it and said Save a Day. Save a Day.
Oh, Save a Day. Oh.
Yeah, not Seva Day. Save a Day.
Yeah.
S-A-V-E Day.
Right.
Save a Day, he said. The idea was that only when we do Seva, that is the only day which has been really saved. All other days are wasted.
Wow.
So a small talk like this can turn into an interview, and it leads or it leaves behind a great message. So interview is nothing but many of these small incidences that I have recorded.
Is that the reason why you were motivated actually to say, become the sire in desire?
Yes, that's well said again.
But I was really attracted by that, So explain that a little bit,
Yeah, I mean, like, see, if there are two ways to live in this world. Either desires, drive you, or you drive your desires. Who controls who?
Right.
Does the dog wags the tail or tail wags the dog? So desires should be under your control. You should be under the control of desires. That's what it means.
You also did a beautiful article on empathize to exemplify. That's a very catchy phrase. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. See, for anything that you do in this world, you must set an example. How do you do it? Why do you do it? What is the spirit behind it? Everything should become an example for other people. And unless we are exemplars, we are not really contributing to the society. You run a channel, you run it in the most exemplified way. You create a standard for others, a benchmark, and people take inspiration from that. That's the greatest contribution, I tell. But when we are working with people, especially in the field of seva, seva can't be a lip service. It can't be something that you really don't feel it in your heart. Now you say, "Oh, I feel for the hungry," but you never feel it. You just say it. It's only a lip service. You're not truly empathizing with them. So if you really want to be the great examples of service, first you should learn to feel the pain of those whom you're serving. It's very difficult because you have not, suppose you have never been through a situation when you went hungry or without education or you couldn't access healthcare. It's very difficult to empathize with the people who go through these things. So, but you must learn to feel what they feel. Only then you can do an exemplary services.
You're highly educated, and you've also embraced artificial intelligence. So tell me about this initiative.
Yeah, as I said, we are a growing organization, and now artificial intelligence or internet-based technologies are the done things. You can't survive with that. In fact, they're the very basic necessities. So even an organization which is in philanthropy, which is a university and a medical school and a healthcare establishment or whatever, it needs that support of technology. So we invested heavily in technology quite early to make our systems more efficient. So now our next big thing is to include artificial intelligence in analyzing so much of data that we generate. We have 3.5 million plus patient data.
Wow.
Now they are patients from very rural, poor backgrounds who would never even see the limelight, or the big healthcare institutions won't even talk to them. Now we have all that data, so we are investing now in artificial intelligence to do all this data analysis and come with some patterns that we understand how disease is spreading in the society, be it NCDs or whatever. Second, how to predict protocols and pathways for treatment for such people, because we have so many treatments done in the last 12 years and different treatments have led to different results. So all that is also data that is being mined and analyzed. And more importantly, I think artificial intelligence or technology in education and healthcare are transforming these fields, which means you can deliver these things better now than before. Our kids study on internet-based softwares, education softwares are there, they use these programs, and that helps them to get better understanding of their subjects. So also our healthcare systems are very tech savvy. We have devices that are handheld, no more of those big bulky things which you can't take to rural areas. Now we are having those which are very small, you can use it anywhere, and then that data goes to the cloud, and from there it comes to the hospital server, where the doctor can see it on his phone, what's happening in far away remote rural area, and he can even advise. Brilliant. Plus all the analytics that goes behind it helps us to identify whether this particular patient might land up in a worse situation or a better situation in the future. So we can alert them and be conscious. So that is something that we are investing in very heavily right now.
Stay tuned now for these messages.
You took education to a totally different level. In fact, I remember tremendous endorsement during the Vice Chancellors of India conference.
Yes.
Tell us about the importance of that conference.
Right. So education in India was mostly, the learning by rote for a long time. You had a syllabus and you just needed to study that, write an exam, get a degree. And I did not know whether they were really getting the necessary skills. That was one side of the education. The other problem with education was that the value systems, human values, were missing. It was only a technical education where we were not even talking about why this education in the first place, how it's going to help the society, how it will improve the life of the last and the least. So we have pioneered a program called Human Excellence Program. And this is something that we do it very passionately, which studies the various facets of a child's personality, the physical, the intellectual, the social and the spiritual. And we have a very beautifully scientifically designed metrics through which we do analysis of peer reviews, the teachers review, self-reviews, and put them all into a very objective model and come out with a question called Human Excellence Quotient, which will help a person understand that how he is a good human, or is he growing as a good human in the first place, or his just head is growing, without heart. So that is the kind of model that we pioneered. We tested it in our university, and our university people can miss their gold medals if their Human Excellence Quotient is lower or did not match up to the requirements. So this is how we became very serious about instituting this idea in our university. Having tried and tested and found it working, we invited many vice chancellors from around the country, all the way from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, literally, and from Surat to Arunachal Pradesh, so length and breadth of the country. 50 of them came together for the first time. They deliberated and they appreciated this idea, and they said, yes, while we give technical education or whatever secular education, but that's not helping us build good human beings for the society. I think we should introduce this. So now we are working on a very serious program where universities can implement this, and it would be possible for them to understand how, as humans, their students are developing, evolving, and how they will be contributing citizens to the country and the world tomorrow in a moral and an ethical way.
It's incredible. You also decided that you didn't want to isolate education and healthcare alone separately. You included sports and cultural affairs together in an annual meet that you created. That was a very successful, it's taken off very well for you. Tell us about this.
That's a ritual with our institutions where we invite all our students from around 30 plus campuses to come together once in a year in our headquarters, so that they can exchange their ideas, they can interact with each other, engage with each other through other activities like sports and cultural activities, and that's what they do. So we have an annual event, and that helps build bonding between all our institutions, and that is the time when we also have the cricket match. So that
One World, One Family Cup.
One World, One Family Cup. So we have kind of rechristened this mission now as One World, One Family Mission, because I thought it was easy for people to understand that. So we have a cricket match celebrating that. We had the second edition this year with India and Sri Lanka playing a friendship match to promote this idea of one world, one family. So all this happens during that time. It also gives opportunities to other rural schools nearby to come and witness these things and to participate. So this has become a sports academy now, and now this will train more people in the future for free in various sports things like cricket and others.
Sadhguruji, it's such an honor having you with us, and we would love to have you back on your next trip to Canada. Please visit us here more often now. This country needs you as well.
I'm sure we would love to come back, and it's a great country, it's a multicultural country, and I look forward to coming back, meeting you again. But from my side, I think you're doing a phenomenal job to take our culture, our traditions, our ideas to the whole of the world, and especially in Canada. I think somebody has to do this, and you've done that for so many years. I believe 25 years of being listed on the Toronto Stock Exchange, and that's a milestone. I know this is not an easy job, and it comes with its own challenges and difficulties, but you have persevered. So also Ms. Jaya, your better half. I truly congratulate you for what you're doing, and I pray and hope that you would continue to do this for all times to come, and may this channel do much, much more for the cause of good entertainment and responsible entertainment and spreading the good word like what you're doing today for us. I'm sure this will inspire many more people to join some cause like this or with us to make it even more for more people in the world. So you are doing great service, and I'm very, very thankful for that.
You made my day, and you made our day, and on behalf of all the staff and people associated with the production of our program,
thank you.
We want to profoundly thank you.
Thank you,
and,
thank you.
And we have no other words to say. We're tongue-tied.
Thank you so much for this.